Welcome to Thursday, December 26, 2024, your day with a podcast brought to you by Converse County Tourism. Douglas and Glen Rock, Wyoming are bustling with action this holiday season. Plan your excursion, including fun activities, beautiful downtowns, and historic treasures. Learn more at conversecountytourism.com. Well, it's all going to be about waves coming off the Pacific and through the central and northern Rockies and the Pacific Northwest and the northern Great Basin states between now and Tuesday. This is going to lead to significant snow in the mountains. This will be the best 5-day period of snow that the mountains have seen this winter. The mountains of, let's say, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. Further south of I-70, the snow won't be as prolific. This is an area that really hits the northern Rockies the best. Very moist air is coming off the Pacific, unstable air. Sometimes between now and Tuesday, some snow showers will reach the low elevations with these waves, but they're not going to be organized, meaning you're going to get a snow shower here, you're going to get a snow shower there if you're in close proximity to the mountain ranges. The further east out into the plains, you're not going to see much until potentially Sunday night and Monday. Late Sunday night into Monday, we could see some travel concerns east of the divide across portions of Montana, parts of northern and central and eastern Wyoming, parts of South Dakota, and maybe Nebraska. So that's an area and a time frame there that holiday travelers will kind of need to watch because there's a bigger, colder push of air from the Pacific during that time frame before it does look like a break in the weather on New Year's Day, Wednesday. So there's your heavy, dark clouds that came across the area on Christmas Day in many areas with that little Pacific wave. Temperatures warm enough that some of those were rain showers on Christmas Day. Haven't seen that in a long time. And that led to some nice shots there of fog in the Estes Park area as we had that Pacific moisture come in. And we could use some snow on those mountain slopes, and that's about ready to start taking place again. Nice sun pillar there in the Glen Rock area. As we take a look at the satellite imagery this morning, very impressive wave coming off the Pacific. You can see the curl right here, just off the coast of Washington. This upper level low bringing in moist Pacific air into the Rockies, in the Pacific Northwest, into central and northern California. And back here, we'll show you here in a minute, you can see that fetch of good moisture coming in behind it. We've got another wave right up here just south of Alaska. So the Pacific is primed to throw a lot towards us. The high pressure ridge is going to go away, getting eaten up by this wave after wave of Pacific energy. Let's go and take a wider perspective across the Pacific. So we could call this, if you want to use some of the latest jargon the media throws out, an atmospheric river. There's a little bit of that going on right now with strong and moist jet stream winds going across the Pacific. So the air is pretty cold here. A lot of moisture feeding in from the Pacific here. So cold air aloft, meeting up with a big push of moisture coming across the Pacific into the Pacific Northwest and Rockies is going to produce off and on episodes of heavy snow, especially on the western slopes of the mountain ranges of the Pacific Northwest and the central and northern Rockies. We'll see that with a wave coming through today. This is how we're starting the day. Here's the Christmas low heading out into the plains. It will produce rain and some stormy activity here out ahead of it. Here's the next wave we just showed you on the satellite imagery. It's getting pushed along very quickly because of this very tight gradient here, very strong jet stream winds pushing across the Pacific. So this wave will come in very quickly later today and tonight. By noon tomorrow, the wave is already to the east. The next wave comes in behind it, coming in Friday afternoon and Friday night. So here's another wave here. So you can see how they're lined up, just like rail cars on a freight train. This is why we call it a wave train. This 3 periods of quick moving disturbances moving on through will be very, very productive in the mountains. Sunday morning, there's a little break, but the flow is moist and energetic. So that's going to keep moisture going into the mountains from just orographic precipitation, moisture and air forced up and over the mountains, causing the precipitation. This wave will go across the U.S., so later in the weekend, there will be some weather with this low. Rain and thunderstorms down here, ice and snow on the northern edge of this low, so this will be a bit of a concern at the end of this upcoming weekend. So you can see we don't have a big ridge anymore. We're seeing a very active Pacific jet stream. This Pacific jet stream will cut off any really Arctic air out of Canada, not allow it in, except a little bit more into the northern Great Lakes here. So this is Sunday morning, but by Monday morning, that wave moves very quickly through. And notice we've got some colors there that look a little cooler. The air does get colder coming on the backside of the system. And with a lot of energy and moisture, this will be a big producer of more moisture in the mountains. And we could see some of the moisture spill over the plains, especially, and as I'll show you here in a minute, this area right here, there could be enough cold and enough moisture that it comes out onto the plains for a little bit. And you can see the very strong gradient continues to come into the Pacific Northwest. Over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours, we have a host of winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings. Pink is winter storm watches and warnings. The purple are winter weather advisories, and the brown areas are for some strong winds. And you'll get strong winds along and east of the divide in some of these mountain ranges because of the strong jet stream winds coming on through. But you can see a lot of pink and a lot of purple, and this will expand the purple and the pink more eastward as we get into tomorrow, as we get into the weekend, and as we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So if we were to start from today and animate how the precipitation will unfold between now and next Tuesday, you can see that arch of heavier moisture coming in the Pacific Northwest all the way into Central California, then coming, mainly getting the mountains, then right at the end there, you see right at the end into this area right here, you're going to see possibly Sunday night and Monday some snow spill out on into the plains. And that's where we could have some travel concerns, especially along Interstate 90, maybe sections of I-25, Sunday night into Monday and into early Tuesday. So you'll need to watch that. This is what the total precipitation looks like during that time frame. So this is a classic signature we've seen in many other years when you get patterns like this. Look at Idaho, look at Washington and Oregon, the central and northern Sierras. So this will be a very good snowpack generator. And by early next week, we will have some high avalanche concerns, especially here and especially back here. You're going to be putting a lot of heavy wet snow down on a crusty, icy surface. And then that's just a recipe for concern for avalanches next week. Haven't had to talk about yet that this season, but now we will. Here's the snowfall potential between now and noon on Tuesday. And this is mostly coming right here in that Sunday night, Monday time frame. So travelers, keep an eye on this area right here. And it could shift north, it could shift south as well, depending on how those systems come off the Pacific. Have yourself a great Thursday. We'll have an update for you tomorrow.